He had three instances that really stuck out. So part of the Democrats' plan was to not stand and applaud for anything he said or did, no matter how much they agreed with it, with one exception, which was the mentioning of sending money and weapons to Ukraine. Of course, they can clap for Ukraine, but they couldn't clap for things like a 95-year-old mother who got her son back from Russia. Didn't clap for her. I thought Russia was bad. Wouldn't you be excited that someone could get their son out of that horrible country? They love Brittany Griner, though. I'm just saying. They wouldn't clap for this kid right here, DJ Daniels, who was diagnosed with brain cancer, given 5 months to live, and wound up living like he's still alive 5 or 6 years later. He got bullied by a bunch of kids from his school because he wanted to be a police officer, and Trump honored him at the joint session. Go ahead, check this video out. They did not a single Democrat stood up and applauded this kid. A couple of them sat there and quietly clapped. Not a single one stood up and applauded for this kid. It's such a despicable, partisan, shameful act. You do show, every president does things like this at joint sessions. It's to unify people. You take issues that, hey, let's all at least come together on this. And is it a little bit of political theatrics and grandstanding? Yes, of course it is. But it's supposed to be like layups, right? That's what we call them. In comedy, we've got jokes that are layups. We know we're going to get laughs. They may not be the biggest laughs, but they're things we can fall back on. That's what this is supposed to be. But the Democrats wouldn't even give him this concession, and this is despicable. Go ahead.
Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer. Actually, a number of times. The police love him. The police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service. Thank you.
Mia, why are you chopping onions in here? Stop. Not a single one of them applauded this kid, though. Not a single one of them stood up to applaud for this kid. How gross is that? Can we put this partisanship and dehumanization of the other side? I have no idea how this kid's parents voted. It doesn't matter. So I'm not even going to talk about dehumanization of the other side. But can we put this... But that's what it is. I don't know what else to call it. This dehumanization of the other side aside. I mean, this is something that should unite everybody. I mean, you have to be the biggest piece of shit on the planet to have a problem with a kid with cancer, to not be able to set your partisan differences aside for like 3 seconds to stand up and clap for this kid. I mean, truly, could you imagine being that kid's dad and having to explain why half of the room didn't cheer for you? He doesn't understand. That's batshit. It's so pathetic and just shows the state of this country. Now, here's Representative Debbie Dingell. Go ahead and check this video out. She's the woman on the right here with the eye roll. Go ahead. Rolls her eyes and plugs her ear. Debbie Dingell. More like Debbie Dingus. I went to high school with a girl with the last name Dingus. What a horrible... Could you imagine having that last name? But by the way, she only got that seat because her husband passed away. It's in a dark blue district and she ran for it. Do people not understand? You're on television. Everything is on camera. They caught you rolling your eyes. That is a horrible moment. I mean, here's the thing. with this DJ Daniels situation here is if you were the Democrats, I mean, how bad did you fuck yourselves on this? Because, and this is the problem, they get their marching orders from the people in charge that pull the strings, and they know they better damn well not break from the fray, not go away from the orders in any way, shape, or form. Otherwise, they're in big trouble with the boss, whoever that may be. And they're so void of independent thought. They're so soulless. They've been so void of a soul for so long that they won't even do it for something like that. They won't even see even if you were given those orders by people above you that, hey, we don't legitimize anything he says by standing up and applauding it, even if we agree with it. You've got to understand on a human level, that's the one exception that's probably not going to get you in trouble. But they have whipped these people into line so harshly that they can't even break the mold on it. It's honestly kind of impressive the way they've brainwashed not just their followers, but their followers' elected representatives. I think the followers are the ones who are brainwashed. The elected representatives are the ones who are terrified because they'll end their careers with, a primary or maybe some dirt they have on them that's much worse. But here's the thing. The fact that they couldn't set politics aside and make an exception for that kid has fucked them so royally. Because here's what would have happened. If you would have stood up and applauded that kid and stood up and applauded this next video I'm going to show you in a minute here, you could, after the speech was over, your side could have done your rebuttal. You could have had, the press that you guys own 90% of do the quote unquote fact checking and throw spins on everything he says and half truths and whatnot, like you always do. You could have done your counterpoints. You could have brought up his insults and how he called Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas and blah, 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 blah. But instead, and they are doing those things. But the problem is those things are all falling on deaf ears. Those things are all being drowned out, and rightfully so, by what they, I guess I can't say did, but more so didn't do for this kid with cancer. That's all anyone's talking about right now, is how you guys snubbed the cancer kid. All of your rebuttals to what he's saying, maybe you had some legitimate criticisms of what he said. Maybe he did take a couple liberties with the truth. Doesn't matter, though, because nobody's going to hear that, because all anyone wants to talk about is the way you guys treated the kid with cancer like shit. So you've done this to yourself. Your lack of humanity continues to cost you on the national scale. It really was. And the thing is, this is, like I said,
you're a horrible, despicable person.
They really are. This is a unity move. Every president does something like this. This was not a political move by Trump. He wasn't expecting them to not stand up and applaud this kid. In fact, he probably thought this is the one thing we're all going to agree on. But they basically just gave him a Christmas gift in March by doing this. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, be sure to click the link in the description to get the full episode on Rumble. If you prefer to listen along, you can actually get us on Spotify, Spreaker, and iHeartRadio. You can also go to www.outlawstreamers.com to learn more about not just my show, but tons of other great shows and all the exciting projects they have coming up. Follow my socials at Caleb Isn't Funny on Twitter and Instagram, at Caleb Salvatore Comedy on the Chinese spy app that is TikTok, and be sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thanks, and we'll see you every Saturday for brand new episodes of That's Based. Peace.